Hello and welcome to the Balanced Business Dad Podcast. This podcast is just one part of the Balanced Business Dad movement. This movement provides a platform of the important pillars of life while building this council of dads to support each other as we work to balance our lives. The 6 pillars of life that we strive to balance are our faith, our health, our marriage, fatherhood, brotherhood, and our business. We are here to build a council of dads to celebrate wins and as well as to share the challenges of being a husband and a father, and all the while working to keep our pillars in balance. The goal of the Balanced Business Dad movement is for dads to be better in all things, balanced, because everyone in our lives deserves it.
All right, dads, welcome to another episode of the Balanced Business Dad, where we interview other business dads or talk about some of the issues that business dads may be having and how we keep all of the stuff in this world balanced based off the 6 pillars that we know that are important in our life, when it starts with faith, health, our marriage, being a father, the friends and the brotherhood we have, as well as our business, kind of in that order. So guys, I'm your host, Dustin Hogue, and as always, with me, my co-host, Mr. RJ Campbell. RJ, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Hello, gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah. Guys, we are in for a treat today. We get to interview someone who I've known for years now, but is a father, a husband, and a business owner, and kind of has a unique story on the business he owns and is operating now, and kind of a story about truly setting a vision and following his vision. Dads, welcome to the show, Mr. Chris Yettke. Chris, how are we doing today?
Hey, Dustin, RJ, thanks for having me on. It's a good day. It's a good day, actually. Loving it down here in Southwest Florida. So no complaints.
Yeah, love that. And so Chris, let's just jump right into it. Kind of the story. Tell us a little bit who Chris is today. What are you doing these days and all that fun stuff?
Yeah. So, well, I call it today's version of Chris, right? Because I'm always an ever evolving version of myself. Today's version was a Midwest kid who decided to up and come down to sunny Southwest Florida, get in and around the scene that was making me the happiest in life. And it's funny because you talk about the pillars, and that's something I got with my life coach on is, hey, where and how am I going to be the best version of myself? So yeah, today I get to go to the gym early in the morning and work out myself. Then I get to go back to my gym and I get to help other members and clients and my coaches and the community. And then I get to go to the beach and I get to fish. I got a golf game tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So I got it pretty rough, I guess you could say.
Life's good. I like that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned my gym. So tell the people what you do, what your business is right now.
Yeah. So, I guess it's actually best kind of go back kind of the journey, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
good.
So again, I got back with my life coach, 2017, and I had been in the insurance industry for, 11 years at that point, 10 years. And I liked it. I was past the grind. I was past the starvation mode of building up my clientele. 10 years in the business. It was quite a long time. I had my second agency at that point in time. And life was at a really, really, really good point. So I thought. It was also my wife and I's 7th anniversary. And I don't know if you've heard about that 7th year kind of marriage hump that you got to get over. There's a lot of marriages out there that have a really, really, really tough point. So I didn't know this. I was like, no way. Life's good. I'm making good money. Everything's great. But then life happened, right? And my wife and I went through a number of things, and we came out actually a new married couple, I guess you could say, quote unquote, because I remarried her in essence in my mind. So my marriage got infinitely better from what I thought it was. I met Dustin, and what was that? That was Vision Leadership back in St. Charles County. Just an awesome, amazing opportunity to meet other business leaders in our community in like a field trip setting, which was really cool. Like we got to be like a good way to put that. Yeah, that was so cool. We got to go around and explore St. Charles County. and got hooked up with Dustin there. And I was an insurance agent there, and I had none of these current aspirations on the table other than I was just trying to always be the best version of myself, which led me to sitting down with a life coach and saying, all right, what is it that really, really drives me? And it was the warrior mindset of being the best version of myself, mind, body, soul. And we kind of broke those down. And what does that look like? And I really came to the realization that as much as I liked insurance, I liked the money, I liked the lucrative opportunity where I was in life, I was still just 60, 70, 80 hours a week working only on that business. So it was taking away from other aspects of my pillar of my life, which is my marriage and my kids. And I was realizing I was trading time for money, and that wasn't really suiting me anymore. It wasn't making me happy. So at that point in time, I said, all right, I got to concentrate more on myself, my wife, and my family. That's just it. That was my priorities. If it didn't go through that funnel first, it didn't happen for me, which led me to really becoming invested in the gym. So I took control of my weight. I was at my all-time high at that point as well. So it was an all-time high, which then led me to getting really serious with that. My wife followed me along with the journey, which I'm blessed for every day, that she's so enthusiastic about the gym as well, which then led me to say, all right, well, what's next for it? Well, then roll along to Dustin's journey. And I had seen it come across on Facebook saying, he was going along this journey to the fight. I wasn't really following it because I was like 8 months slow on the process. And all of a sudden I messaged Dustin one day and I'm like, hey man, what's this fight? What's this thing you're doing? Followed his video, followed his journey. And it was so overly inspiring with me with no training, just a crazy guy with this knack for making myself better. I said, hey man, can I fight in your charity event with you? He did some calling around. Sure, I can get you a guy. And it turned out to really kind of spark off everything where I'm at today. So we took in all my passion for fitness, my passion for freedom, for time, and still wanting to have a business and making money, but I didn't want to be a slave to the business. I wanted that freedom of time more than anything. That was November 2021.
2021, yeah, November 13th, 2021.
And up until that point, I was telling myself in my head, as Dustin had mentioned, that my vision of I wanted to become a gym owner. That's what I knew in my head. So I was telling myself every day, I'm an amazing gym owner. I see myself as a gym owner, and I'm in Missouri walking the track, cold, 19 degrees. I liked boxing then. I went and boxed with Dustin. I got with a boxing coach, and now I'm boxing 3-4 days a week. So I was like, I don't know if I want to marry these yet. And then all of a sudden the opportunity came up where I looked at 67 gyms prior to the one I actually bought.
Wow.
All across Florida, reviewing ROIs and profit and loss statements for 3 years, working with a consultant in the gym industry. 67 gyms were reviewed from November until February 10th. So in that short amount of time, I visited Florida 4 times. And I just knew in my head, I wanted to own a gym and I wanted to live in Southwest Florida. Didn't know why, didn't know how. That's what I want. And that's going to make me happy. And my wife, being the blessed angel she is, she's like, you know what? I trust you. Let's go for it. So I sold everything. My insurance agency that I built up over those then 12 years at this point, which offered us a very lucrative lifestyle at that point. I could work none hours if I wanted to at that point, but my wife said, I trust you. So we sold it all, came down here, bought a gym that was actually kind of suffering, put my passion into it, my personal charisma, my marketing, cranked the dial a little bit. And now we're just I bought it on March 1st of 2022. So we just hit the 8-month mark.
Yeah. And
we humbly can say we've hit our 1-year goal as of today. So I still got those, 3 months left to really kind of pour it on in the busiest time in Southwest Florida for the fitness industry. So I'm very, very blessed every day to have built out my team there and Yeah, without it kind of rambling on, that's really blah. That's Chris Yettke almost in a 10-year snapshot in about 2.5 minutes. So I know that's a lot there. I don't know if you want me to elaborate or slow it
No,
down.
I don't think we have to go any further. That was perfect. You were out of balance. You got in balance. You followed your, no. Wow. First of all, I had no idea it was that story. I knew, you talked about being a gym owner, and I knew you were kind of on your own health journey at the time when we met, about you boxing in there. I didn't really know that led you into buying a boxing gym. That's wow. A little humbled by that was part
I'm
of
saying,
that.
man, I mean, boxing gym was nowhere on the table. Like I was going to own like a box gym at first, and the universe listened. It says, "Hey, you like this? You like this? Let's marry him." And that's what my wife said. She's like, "You were so passionate about boxing with Dustin and that journey, and then you were passionate about owning a business because I just wanted to own that on the gym." Yeah, man. So without that night, that's what I've questioned myself. I was like, if I wouldn't have messaged you and you wouldn't have been available or open to that opportunity, kind of reciprocal to it, who knows where I'd be today? To be honest, and to make a 1,300-mile move with my family, sell everything that I know. I mean, it's scary to say the least, but yeah, like that little rock kick that day turned into a freaking boulder, which is now an avalanche.
That is awesome. For the listeners out there, I'll say that I am not passionate about boxing. Never want to get hit in the face again. But that is awesome that you are there with that, Chris. That is so cool. I'm very humbled by that. I had no idea. I'm kind of at a loss for words. But something else I want to touch on really quick is in 2017. You mentioned, because again, we talked about these pillars and how the business part is, it's part of our lives, yet it's not the most important. We talk about our faith, our health, our marriage, and our fatherhood. But you mentioned that this 7-year thing that happened in your marriage, and we don't even go into the details of what happened, but you mentioned that you remarried your wife in your head. Let's elaborate on that, because that's a really cool story, it sounds like.
So, and it was again, and I'm realizing it's so crazy too, because all our forefathers will say before us, our teachers, our mentors, our fathers, our grandfathers have always told us certain things that we just kind of right over our head, right?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. Oh yeah, sure, Dad, whatever, right? No, that's dead freaking serious. Like if you say you can or you can't, you can, right?
Right.
And I heard it from my father when I first got married, and he said it in a different term. But he was like, get to reintroduce yourself to your wife on a monthly basis. And I kind of at the time just right over my head. I was just getting married, and it didn't really sink into me until it was that 7-year point when I kind of just analyzed the way I do my businesses. I analyze everything. How do I want my day to go? How did my day end? And then I kind of analyze myself. And I realized in my marriage for 7 years, I was still acting and treating my wife as the same woman that I married. And she was the furthest thing from that in a very good way. But I was still treating her from a husband standpoint, and I hadn't involved at all. And when I realized I hadn't evolved at all as a husband, and I'm treating her as the same wife, and yet she's an evolved wife, that's why communication issues started and little things that started snowballing that I realized that I can change this. If I'm going to be the leader of my family, I have to evolve. So I said, you know what? I'm going to remarry her. She's a new woman today. I love her for who she is today, and nothing more, nothing less. Today is the woman I love her. And then every year since then, so we're going on a 10-year anniversary next year in 2023. Every year since then, better and better and better and better, because I'm going out on date nights. I mean, I'm still playing grab tail with my wife like I'm a 22-year-old. It's because now I know I got to remarry her every single year in my head. It's more of it's not a symbolic thing, like where I actually going to go through the whole marriage, but in my head, I'm realizing I can't just do the status quo every year with my wife. Because I said, if I'm doing that with my businesses and I'm trying to do that with my personal relationships and I'm doing that with me being a father, why wouldn't I do that with my wife? So yeah, that's kind of what I took out of it. And then I relayed back to my dad saying that back in, 2013, and it kind of just flew over my head. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, Dad, whatever. Yeah, old man. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, yeah, old man was right. Son of a gun. He hit it on the head. Now, I understand. And that's probably the biggest input I give to these young cats, getting married. I'm like, be ready to remarry her and have a changing, evolving relationship. She's not going to be the same woman forever, and you're not going to be the same man, and that's okay. That's a good thing. But you always have to come back to the middle and meet up in the middle and balance each other out.
Sometime us old guys get it right.
I'm playing the old guy card now. I mean, I turned 40 this year, and this beard says old, so I'm 100% agreeing with you. And the young cats look at me too, like, "What are you talking about, guy?"
Yeah, we talked about this in our marriage episode. Is that, and I'm married over 30 years. Is that throughout your life, you're going to be married to dozens of women. She might have the same name, but it's going to be totally different over time. And you need to remember that she's changing as much as you're changing. And I love it. That's just what you did. You remarried your wife because she's different. So we wake up every day and choose to be in love with this different person.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's an ego check. It's like, how dare she not follow me into the pits of hell and change for me, but yet I wasn't willing to do the same. And that's obnoxious. That's obnoxious. So I had to check myself, my ego. And it's funny because then even the other day, we were having a talk, and I used to always say, I think this, right? Because of this. The other day was, I feel this because of this. And she's like, whoa. Did you just say you feel something? I was like, yeah. I lead with emotions now. So between that and evolving and seeing my daughter, they've really humbled me, as this male dominant, guy. I've never been chauvinistic, but I've been, hard and rigid and don't show emotions, to having these two beautiful women in my life, to saying, oh, whoa, it's okay. They need that. My son needs to see that a strong man can show emotions, and it's okay. So it's been a really cool evolution, bringing these three in my life has been a savior, so going down the journey where, I say, Justin kind of kicked me down the road on it. Say, sure, come out here and get punched in the face tonight. I'm like, awesome. Like, who volunteers for this? Like, this dumb guy. And now I enjoy it. Like, shoot, February 25th, I fly out to Vegas and I compete again in the USA Masters boxing. Like, I don't know, just something about getting in there and just the work. I think it's the journey. Like, I'm with you, Dustin. I really don't enjoy getting punched in the face.
No, not a good time.
But the journey from here to that bell rings is what I think I enjoy the most. That suffer, that grind, that internal discipline that I have to have. Nobody else can do the work other than you.
Right.
And
I feel that
hide
so
behind
much.
Sports too. And it's an ego check thing. Like, when I played football, I wasn't the best, but I hid behind my team. Right. I can kind of blend in the crowd. Not in boxing. It's toe to toe. And if you didn't train hard or you're not on your game, you're going to catch a left hook to the face. I mean,
in my sense, it was the ribs, but man, that's so funny that you mentioned the journey when it comes to boxing. Because honestly, the last couple of weeks, and I talked to RJ about it, there's a local gentleman in town who wants to do a charity event and have somebody box him. And I'm so tempted. And yet I don't want to, because I'm not into the boxing thing as much as I am now. My son and I went down the martial arts path, yet I'm so tempted just to train again for it.
Yeah.
More than anything else. Like, I just want to say I'm going to do it and then something happens. But no, and obviously I wouldn't do that. But that's kind of where I am, because I understand it's that journey. There was something about putting in that work by yourself. Because you had trainers, you had coaches and stuff like that. But the reality of it is the work was by yourself.
Right.
And there was something about that. So, man, I appreciate that. That's awesome. Wow, Chris, that was an amazing story.
Man. And I blurted out, like, it's not scripted at all, because I tell this at my gym as well. Like, that's my mission statement in essence, right? This is why I bought the gym. And I share that with others. Like, my big vision is to help 100,000 people indirectly. So if I help, I believe 10,000 people change their life, we'll just say, like, you had helped inspired me that extra step. If I can do that for 10,000 people, I imagine that's going to help 100,000 people's lives, right? Because not only did my life get changed that day, my wife's did, my kids did, my parents did, her parents did, maybe her brother did, maybe that ripple, right? That's always what I've referred to as my journey. Maybe my ripple in the pond is big enough where maybe it rocked you off your boat and you said, all right, now today's the day. Today's the day that I do that. And I love that you've created this dad group, because dads again, back to our ego and the way society looks at us, I believe we're meant to be looked at as the strong, rigid pillar with no chinks in our armor. Well,
Yeah.
sure, that's what my enemy needs to see.
Mhm.
But then when my loved ones, I want them to know that I've got that soft side to me as well.
Right.
But I wish an enemy would come up on me. That's what I'm saying. I want that guy in my boxing match to think I'm a big teddy bear and I knock his block off.
And if that doesn't explain what a man is right there, guys, no, that's awesome. And, it's interesting because why RJ and I are building out the Balanced Business Dad, and especially the Balanced Business Dad Council that we've started. One of the ongoing theme that keeps coming up, whether you know it or not, but you've been saying it, is just to be better tomorrow than you are today.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be better tomorrow. That's it. My job is to be better tomorrow than I was today in every one of these pillars. And you literally, it sounds like, have been on this journey of doing that for quite a long time. And you're obviously succeeding at it extremely well. And it's such an amazing story.
Well, I appreciate that. And it doesn't come easy. And I just want to make sure anybody hearing that out there, oh my God, this is so easy. No, it doesn't. I mean, I gotta try at it. Even when I get down here and I'm in my element, I'm in the gym, my life is good, my health is good, my wife is good, my marriage is good, my kids are good, everything's awesome, right? Like I said, I get to fish tomorrow and golf the next day when the rest of the nation's under snow, right? How bad do I have it? But I still need to come back and center myself, and I got to do what does me, right? I got my morning routine between a jog or a run, then an ice bath, and then meditation. And I know if I get out of my circle, my frequency, it really, really messes with me. And that's whenever I'll just, for lack of a better word, say my old demons when it come back. Right. And I found me out of all the demons I've had. And I don't know if it's because, again, lack of better words, but with food, me and food, we don't get along. We just don't get along in the sense of, I don't have a great relationship with food. Right. That there's not many ways that a man gets to be 320 pounds unless you have a bad relationship with food. So whenever I'm in check, though, like today, I'm in awesome check. I eat my chicken broccoli rice. I eat my turkey sweet potato. I eat my oats. I'm on. I feel freaking great. My head's good. Everything's good. But then tomorrow, if I'm off my game and I make up an excuse and I want to get some bad food, then can be the battle. So true, I got it, but man, it takes a lot of work, as you know. I mean, it's an ever-evolving juggling act. One day it's a higher priority to juggle with the left hand. The next day it's the right hand. The next day you need a third hand. Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Such an inspiring story there. So tell us, you moved 1,300 miles. Obviously you've been planning on it and, looking at 60 plus gyms. How did that move go? Hey, babe, we're going to move to Florida. I mean, my wife would love that because she likes Florida. Yet
right.
That's your kids are leaving their friends and schools and whatever to go take this adventure. I mean, that's some craziness going on there. How'd that go?
I mean, looking back at it now, it was freaking crazy because we go through the holidays. I'm working on selling my agency, which is a very long process as well. I had a pretty large agency with a bunch of agents under me. So I had a bunch of different sales contracts happening at the same time while talking about this whole Florida thing. And as of December, right after the fight, I didn't know where. I just knew I was selling business A and I needed to go acquire business B. Like I didn't even have business B yet. I'm going down there. February 11th rolls around and I fly down to Naples, Florida, and I'm going to look at the Florida Hit Factory as a potential gym. I liked their numbers. I liked everything so far, which I also liked 3 others so far. But when I got in there, the vibe, the energy, the atmosphere, the everything just didn't fit for me. So February 11th, I fly down here and I negotiate the final terms on buying my gym, the current gym that I'm in. And then February 22nd, we pack up a moving van and we drive down to Naples, Florida. So in a matter of 11 days, like I'm flying back from Naples to St. Louis saying, hey, honey, I closed the deal. Start boxing stuff up. We're out of here. You're serious? She's like, I thought this was going to be like an April or a May thing. I'm like, yeah, that was going to happen. But, XYZ, leases, yada, yada, yada. We're gone in 11 days. Okay, great. So she came back and she just was hustling while I'm working with a consultant, literally 24 hours a day, marketing plans and this, that, or another, securing bank accounts, all the nonsense you got to get down here for starting a new business with the Florida Department of Agriculture, yada, 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 right? So February 22nd, we leave Missouri, and the story gets a little funner. So I decided to use a full service moving crew. Horrible experience. It could be a Hallmark movie. It was so painful. So I was told on written contract, recorded conversation, and everything, we'll pick you up on the 22nd. We'll have you delivered on the 24th. Right, cool. That's how long it's going to take me and my family to get down there. I get down here on the 24th. Call them. Hey guys, I was just seeing where you're going to be rolling in today, and they're like, oh, well, per your contract, we've got 30 days to deliver you. It's like, okay, so you have 30 days to deliver all of my belongings, because we literally only drove down in a minivan with my Cane Corso, which is an Italian Mastiff. Okay, so we went to Walmart that night and spent like $2,000 because we didn't have sheets, we didn't have beds, we didn't have pillows, we didn't have clothes, we didn't have nothing. And then it took 3 weeks for all my belongings to get delivered. So 3 weeks later, and this is after I just opened a brand new gym. So unfortunately, I was at my gym 18, 20 hours a day, and my wife was here kind of dealing with having nothing. So, we have a 2,700 square foot home, and now I have nothing in it. So it was kind of echoey, and it was very, very, very tough. But we got through it. We got all our stuff. We got all the stuff in. Wife's happy. I'm good. I went from working 20 hours a day to hiring out every position in my gym, from manager to coaches to lead trainers. I came in with 2 employees officially, even though I was promised 6. And that's a whole nother podcast probably. But went from 2, and now we have 11 total staff members. And we're fully staffed start to finish. So I'm at the point where I can finally manage my gym. I can manage my manager, which is beautiful. I can have that time aspect that I've really, really been after, to nurture with my wife, to nurture with my kids. I volunteer at my kids' school now. Like, I couldn't do that, like I say, quote unquote, with a normal job. So yeah, that was scary, right? 1,300 miles. No guarantee. I have no family down here. My closest family member is my folks. They retired to Panama City Beach. So they're 7-8 hours away. So yeah, we just up and go to a community that my wife had never seen. She actually agreed to the house that I bought. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to put in there. When I came down here, yes. Yeah, sorry about that. So February 11th, I came down, negotiated the deal. February 12th, 13th, and 14th, I looked at 27 homes, put in offers on 14 of them, and missed them all. Because then that was the hot of the hot market. You put in an offer for 400, it sold for 470. Put an offer for 400, it sold for 440. So we end up also buying the home of my realtor's brother that fell out of market the day I was flying back to St. Louis. So I missed on 14 other offers. All of them went to the wayside, 14 offers, 27 homes gone. I'm like, crap. I own a business now, and I don't have a home, and I have to be down here in 11 days. Like, I'm kind of freaking out. So I get the call from her, and she said, hey, that last home we looked at that I told you was off the market, I just wanted to show you to it. It just came back on the market, but it's not officially on the market. Do you want it? Done deal, buy it. I liked it. But my wife rolls into Naples or Cape Coral, which is 45 minutes north of my gym, seeing the home for the first time on February 22nd. She had never seen this home before. She just trusted my decision to go out and spend a sizable amount of money. Fortunately, she loves it. I got to do a lot of painting, and obviously the honey-do list is forever. But yeah. So other than leaving Missouri and everything I'd known for my 38 years at that point in my life, and I was born and raised in St. Charles County, and at that point I was still in St. Charles freaking County. Up and moved 1,300 miles to a business I had never ran before in my life. People ask that as well. Have you ever owned a gym? No, never owned a gym. I owned an insurance agency for 15 years. But now the gym is thriving. Our lives are awesome down here, and it's a matter of wrangling in and every day, you know, and I'm blessed to actually have been in your guys' presence. Meeting Dustin back in vision in 2017 has led us down this path. So you were a very cool part of this process. And, you know, I thank you, man. That was an awesome opportunity.
That I appreciate that, and, you know, humbled that I had no idea that was because of that, which, guys, not to pat myself on the back, but it also shows that every action we take in life, we are having impact on someone else's life. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and I think there's a lesson inside of that, which is amazing. But also, guys, this is what happens when you choose to be better every day. Just be better every day. Mm-hmm. Right. And I really think that RJ should title this this episode should be called "Be Better Every Day," because, man, Chris, that is what you're living proof of that, and it's really a cool story. I had no idea where this episode was going to go, which I never do. Yet I'm kind of blown away right now. That's awesome, man. I'm super proud of you. Super happy to know you, and just awesome. Very cool. That. Yeah, yep. That is.
And the next vision is just even more crazy. You know, the day I landed down here, I said, we're going to own a golf course. I want to own a golf course. I knew that was
coming. I knew it was going to be golf course.
Why not?
Why not? Right? I mean, why not own a golf course? Like, I'm in Southwest Florida. Why not?
I love it. I love it that you're out there and you're killing it and you're going after those dreams, man. That is so cool. Guys, for the second time, we're going to wrap it up. But Chris, what is the one thing that you would tell other dads that are in business for themselves, how to make sure they're staying balanced with all the pillars?
Man, it's a tough one to kind of put in, obviously, at the end of it, and to be short and sweet about it. But if there's one thing I can pass on to a next man, it's if you can check your ego and step back from it for a second and just check your ego. And you'll know what I mean when you can finally truly check your ego, because I got to still do it. You know, I still got to do it on a daily. But when you can truly check your ego and say, is this moving the needle for Chris, for you? That's when you can be personally accountable in every aspect of your life: diet, nutrition, marriages, business, whatever it is. If you're checking your ego and if it's not moving the needle, it's time to do something different.
Love it. Guys, write that down. That was an amazing thing. Chris, again, thank you so much. Any way we can help you? I mean, unless you're in Florida, I probably can't sign up for your gym, but anything we can do to serve you.
No, you guys just keep doing what you're doing. You putting these ripples out in the community for us men that we can help each other, because if I'm better, that's going to make you better. And if you're better, you're helping others make better. And if we can just help that pillar of society, that we can show that the men in society are not a bad thing, right? That a good man is very, very much needed in this society. You just keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Just keep me involved in there. And if you are in Southwest Florida, anybody listening to this, you're more than welcome to come in the door, say, I know Chris, I'll give you a free day pass. We'll kick your butt in the gym. We'll get that sweat on, but you're always more than welcome down here.
Awesome, man. Well, I love it. Thank you, RJ. Go ahead and close us out for the day.
Yeah, Chris, thanks. This has been fantastic and good to see you again after
you too.
Couple of years.
Some awesome pictures, though. You made me look a lot better than normal.
We try. That's the beauty of a good camera. It can make everybody look good.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thanks for listening to the podcast. This is why we do this. It's so much fun to have these conversations. And as we always ask, because it helps all the other dads out there, download, rate, review the podcast, share it, tell people about it. It's a great message to get out there. If you want to reach out to Dustin and I, continue these conversations, or with Chris, we have a Facebook group. So just on Facebook, look up The Balanced Business Dad, and you'll find that. It's a public group. We'll open it up, invite you in, and we have a couple of hundred men, fathers, dads that are out there, just communicating, lifting each other up, helping us to take things to the next level. And then Dustin will probably tell you a little bit about where we go after the next part of that group.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We do have a couple things going on. We just started the Balanced Business Dad Council. You can reach out to RJ or myself through the group out there. Actually, Chris is a part of that too, so you can carry on the conversation with him, which is awesome. We also have our retreat that's going to be happening. It's going to be our second retreat that we've done in beautiful Lesterville, Missouri, which most people don't know where that is, but I personally own a campground down there, and that's going to be May 5th of 2023, that weekend. So it's going to be a good time. Feel free to reach out to that or that information on the group as well, because we'd love to have you guys. So that's what we got, guys. Go ahead and just be better tomorrow than you are today, and stay balanced.